welcome back everybody. Let's go ahead and mute it. This is going to be a special session because I forgot or didn't know that Ralts only appears on Route 102 in all of Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire. As you can see, next to that blinking line, there's my little face. And there's the red bar with only a Ralts. Okay, let's switch to this browser. And this is Bulbapedia. And it's a guide for Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire. And I'm looking at this Ralts, and there's a 4% chance of a Ralts encounter on Route 102. Cool. I got 3 questions. The first question, how many encounters do I need to finally encounter a Ralts? Second question, how many grass tiles do I need to walk on before I can finally encounter a Ralts? Third question is, how long will it take me to find a Ralts? So I made an Excel sheet that's going to do this exactly. So to answer the first question right off the bat, I am going to just tell you that the answer is 113 times. So if I keep walking around on the grass in Route 102, and if I go through 113 random encounters, there is a 99% chance that at least one of those encounters is a Ralt. So let's say I only do one time, right? I'm only going to check if my first encounter is a Ralt. That's only a 4% chance. Now, let's suppose I only do 2 random encounters. There is a 7.84% chance that at least one of those 2 encounters is a Ralts. So the first one could be a Ralts, or the second one could be a Ralts, or both. Now let's suppose we do 17 random encounters on Route 102. We'll have a 50% chance that at least one will be a Ralts. So if 1,000 of my viewers took this same save file and ran back and forth 17 times, I would expect about 500 of those viewers to have found a Ralts, and 500 would have not found a Ralts. Let's look at 74. We got a 95% chance. That's good enough for me. But if you want to be really sure, 113 times. Let's take this just one step further. We're going to consider the tiles only, not just the encounter. So we're looking at the probability of an encounter per tile, along with if that encounter is actually a Ralts or a non-Ralts. I will explain in a separate video how the encounter per tile probability is calculated, but right now, 7.53 is the approximate answer. Okay, when I step on a grass tile, that is going to be considered a trial. There are 3 outcomes: no encounter, a non-Ralts encounter, and the Ralts encounter. The no encounter and the non-Ralts encounter are going to be considered the failures, and of course, the Ralts encounter is going to be considered the success for this binomial distribution setup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so that's 8. That's 8 walks. Just now, what I demonstrated, 7 of those walks were non-encounters, and this is a non-Ralts encounter. So we're just going to go ahead and run away. All right, and that is what I mean when I say number of tiles walked, because each walking tile is considered a trial. I just demonstrated walking 8 tiles, so I'm going to type in 8 here. And I only had a 2.385% chance that one of those tiles I would have found a Ralts. So, if I walked 993 tiles, there would have been a 95% chance that one of those walks would have been a Ralts. And if I walked 1,526 times, there is a 99% chance that I would have found a Ralts. So this is good. Now, you may have noticed that the repel and the no repel have the same probabilities. This is correct, and I'll explain why in a separate video. It has something to do with the probability of an encounter per tile. Now, how long is this going to take? Okay, cool. We know how many tiles we need to walk, so before we go out and find that Ralts, let's just take it another step further. Let's see how long it's going to take to find it. Okay, so now we need to figure out how many tiles we can cover. The game runs at 60 frames per second. It takes about 16 frames to complete a walk animation. onto a tile. That's the number we're going to use. So if we take 60 divided by 16, we are going to get about 3.75 tiles per second. Now that we know that, we're going to use the same formula, a binary distribution, but for seconds. If we're walking for just 1 second, we walked about 3.75 tiles. Let's focus on the 95 and the 99% results. So if we're walking in the grass in a straight line for 267 seconds and 407 seconds, we have a 95 and a 99% chance, respectively, of encountering that Ralt. This does not include the runaway time, the time we encounter the full animation, run away, and then start walking again. We would have walked 1,000 tiles and 1,526 tiles, respectively. So looking at the 267 chance, we have about 65 encounters we're going to have. Similarly, with the 99 at 407 seconds, we got about 99 encounters. Takes about 11 and a half seconds to successfully run away. Unfortunately, I did not take into account the failed runaway attempts where you can't escape. So the number might be a little underestimated, but may have to crank this number up a little bit. So what that means is that at 267 seconds of just walking, we're going to have about 747 seconds of animation time spent running away. Just watching it load up, run away, load up, run away. And with our 99% confidence at 407 seconds, we're going to have about a little over 1,100 seconds just running away. After all that, we're looking to spend between 17 and 26 minutes on Route 102 or running in the grass, back and forth, constantly running away before we find a Ralt. Final restatement. So I'm 95% confident that after 74 encounters, or 993 tiles walked, or about 267 seconds of walking in the grass, we're going to find a Ralt. And similarly, I'm 99% confident that after 113 random encounters, or walking about 1,500 tiles, or walking for 407 seconds in the grass, we're going to find a Ralt. All right, now that we know that this is significantly reasonable, let's go and find that Ralt. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about repels. And we can chop this number down to about 10 minutes and 15 minutes.